Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. So today we're going to be looking at a unique item, which is kind of grisly. It's a grisly item, that's for sure, and it's odd. It kind of has its own graphic and everything. It's called the Grizzly. It has these like runes carved into it, and this kind of interesting, intricate handle. Kind of almost resembles like the butcher's cleaver in a little bit of a way. It's a two-handed sword, so it does unfortunately require you to take off your shield, which is a big downside of any two-handed weapon. It has damage 8 to 16, 150 durability, which is kind of massive, and a strength requirement of 65.
My friend. Stay a while and listen.
And it is known as the Grizzly. Let's take a look at the Grizzly, and let's see what kind of stats we have on this particular weapon. So the Grizzly is plus 20 strength, which is a pretty massive amount of increased damage. It also has negative 5 to vitality, which is going to lower your overall HP pool, which isn't too bad. Negative 5 is not bad. I mean, some weapons have negative 5 all stats, which is a lot worse. It has 200% increased damage, which is pretty massive considering the base damage of the weapon. And it has knocks back target, which is unfortunately not a great stat for melee characters. It does also have high durability, which explains the 150 durability on the item. In general, the problem with this weapon is, number one, it has knockback, which for melees is just atrocious, unless you're fighting just like one really tough melee monster. Knockback tends to be kind of useless because when you're chasing, ranged monsters, for instance, like succubuses and casters and things that are running away from you on a regular basis, like you're trying your best to get within range of them, and the last thing you want to do is push them out of range again once you get in range to hit them. But there's that. Another problem is the 2-hit percent. It has no 2-hit percent on it. It seems like a relatively high-level weapon that you would use later on in the game, but with no 2-hit percentage, you would have to build 2-hit percentage on your rings and amulets, and I'm not really sure it's entirely worth it. It does have good damage, yes, but good luck actually hitting any of the targets in higher-level zones. Could be very fun to run around in low-level zones and just one-donk everything, which it'll probably just one-shot everything that it comes across. Overall, though, just kind of an odd weapon that I'm not exactly sure a lot of people would actually want to use. The sacrifices of losing your shield and not having enough to hit percentage to actually hit targets, and it's not like faster, or fastest increased attack speed either. So it's just generally going to be like not the greatest in terms of damage output. Mainly because you can't hit the target, and then even when you do, you're going to knock the target away from you, which could potentially result in you not being able to hit the target again until you get back within range, right? So a little bit of an oddity. Definitely an odd one. No unique graphic for the ground, but it does have a very unique graphic, of course, for your inventory, which is really cool. Kind of like a serrated blade with like a hook on the end and like runes on it. It's really quite interesting. Let's see how much it sells for at the shop. 12,500. So the Grizzly is worth 12,500 to sell, which is a pretty good price. 12.5K is not bad. That's a pretty hefty amount of gold there that you could potentially use to purchase other items if you just want to bring it back to sell. Sound doesn't really match such a big, meaty sword, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds like a one-handed sword. Like, I feel like this would have like a much meatier, like, thunk to it, right? But it doesn't really have that meaty thunk to it, unfortunately. I mean, 150 durability means it's certainly going to last for a long time, though. I guess there's that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to think about him. I don't think it's a really particularly very good sword. It seems like it has some halfway decent mods, but it's just not, like, I don't know. I feel like there's other weapons that would be way better than it. The knockback kind of really brings it down a chunk, and then, like, the fact that it doesn't have any 2-hit percentage also makes it really unfortunate. And then you have to stack 2-hit percentage on your equipment, like your rings and amulets, and then you can't have other stats on your rings and amulets. So it kind of just, like, ends up as a kind of like a poopy weapon that you probably just sell for gold. Which is unfortunate because it has such a pretty graphic. You run around just smashing things with this big giant grizzly weapon. Anyway, as always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. I plan on doing all the Diablo 1 weapons, so be sure to stick around. And as always, keep watching.